this party started. Hey, good evening, YouTube. Brewed by me, back again. How y'all doing? Good, I hope. Anyways, gonna do another beer review tonight. Tonight I'm gonna be reviewing a beer from Quebec. It's from Brasserie du Monde in Jacquet, Saint-Hyacinthe, Quebec. It is a honey brown ale. Brasserie du Monde, 6.5% ABV. There's a story on the side, and it gives you a bunch of pictures of. Basically, it's telling you it's good with fish, pork, shish kebabs, cheese, sausage, and dessert. It says it serves best at 9 in like this style of glass, so pub glass. You can scan it if you want with your iPhone or smartphone. It says, in ancient Egypt, the belief was the bees were born out of the tears of the sun. God, Ra, honey, was often used there to flavor and add a divine or curative nature to many beverages and foods. More than 5,000 years ago, Egyptians were already making a grain-based beer to which honey was frequently added. It is in the honor of ancient Egypt and the tears of their son, God, that we brew our Nectureus. With its wildflower honey notes and lightly roasted cereal flavors, our honey brown ale is delightful and has a mellow bitterness and a malty, slightly sweet finish. It's a really cool label. Like, let's see if you guys can see that. So it's a honeybee, and inside the honeybee, it's a woman. See that? Pretty cool, eh? So it's a plain black cap, 500 milliliter bottle, 6.5, honey brown. Using my ABC glass, which is the Ashton Brewing Company, which is out of Ashton, Ontario, just outside of Carleton Place. It is a brew pub. They brew their own beer in the pub. They serve their own beer on tap, and they do sell it at selected pubs around the Ottawa area. Very nice people, very nice pub. Whoa, it's foaming like crazy. Get it in the glass, get it in the glass, get it in the glass. Alright. Done like dinner. Oh, I better slow this down. It's getting too foamy. We'll let that sit for a few seconds. See if there's anything else I can describe on here. There is numbers here for the expiry, but none of them are checked. And that's just ridiculous, like the head. And I didn't pour it that aggressively. I'm so upset. But, oh well. I guess I'll just have to slowly do this review. That's it, that's all. Alright, so the color, I'm going to put it in my light. The color is brown. For sure, brown. It looks like it's unfiltered, like it's not fairly clear. Tons and tons of head. It's like a mocha head, large to medium bubbles. Kind of looks like a milkshake. Alright, you take a sniff of this thing, and right off the bat you get big sweet honey notes. Keep smelling it, you get caramel, toffee, a slight bit of like a bready, biscuity, kind of oatmeal-y type thing. Cereal, I guess. A slight bit of like a nutty character, but mostly a nice sweetness. Very malty from the bottle anyways. The glass is hard to tell because it's all head anyways. Some of the aromatics I'm picking up off the head is sweetness. A slight bit of like a candy there, maybe a toffee. Anyways, let's dive into this bad boy and get her done. Cheers. Wow. Big sweetness. It does have your brown ale characteristics. A slight bit of caramel toffee, a slight bit of sweetness, a slight bit of like a brown sugar. Lots of sweetness there. A slight bit of bitterness, kind of like a floral kind of bitterness there. But it's very nice. Minus all the head there. Very nice beer. Again, this beer, you can only buy it in Quebec. I know you can buy it at Brouhaha. I know you can buy it at Brasserie du Monde and selected dépanneurs. Keyword is selected dépanneurs. Now, for those of you that don't know, excuse me, I'm not very far from the Quebec border. Basically, my house, the river, Quebec. So, you know, it takes me about, because I have to drive down to from my house to the ferry and cross and then drive to downtown Gatineau. It's about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and it's well worth it because Brouhaha, which is in the Gatineau sector of Quebec, has a huge selection of beer. Like I could do beer reviews every day for 365 days, and it'll be a different beer every day, and then continue the next year and keep going with different beers because they have their selection. Their advertisement, their selection says over 300 beers. But they're always getting new ones in, and the Quebec microbreweries, which is very huge. There is a huge amount of microbreweries in Quebec and nanobreweries in Quebec. So this store specializes in getting the beer from the nanos and the micros, which is fantastic. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get them unless you went to the towns that they were actually brewing out of. The owner, Jill, he's a very nice guy. Now, if you want, that's like, we'll say that's northeast Gatineau. If you go southwest, I think it is, or northwest. There's another store called Brasserie du Monde, which is similar to Brouhaha and the same selection. And they both get tons of beer from the area. So if Brouhaha doesn't have it, then Brasserie du Monde will have it, and vice versa. So you know, we're never short on craft beers. Like once we get through, if I ever get through all the beers at the LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, I can go there and continue. So. Anyways, that was a little story about that. Back to the beer. Take a swig of this thing. Tip your tongue. Big hits of nice sweetness. As it trickles across your tongue, it's a light body, medium mouthfeel. Carbonation is kind of medium. As it rolls across your tongue, you pick up the nice wild honey, the cereal characteristics. Some toffee, like the Werther's original toffees, that's in there. A slight bit of like a hazelnut or a walnut. A beautiful lacing. It's a very good, one of my favorite brown beers I've ever had. as it's warming up, I'm kind of getting like some roasted malt characteristics. But that's about it. So yeah, if you guys can find this, it's by Brasserie du Monde in Saint-Hyacinthe, Quebec. It's called their Nectureus. It's a honey brown ale. Give it a go. If I make it, I'm not going to do any beer trades this year. Obviously Christmas is coming up and all that stuff, but in the new year, after January, I might pick up selected beers from Brouhaha and Brasserie du Monde and start sending those out to the guys I normally send beer out to. Because a lot of the Bose beers I sent to the guys that watch me, so they've had most of them, and yeah. And Bose is actually getting more widely distributed in Ontario. I think it's close to Chad now, down in southern Ontario. That's over the albino rhino, so you know, they're starting to get beers down that far south, so they're growing, and they're growing fairly good, so good on them. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much more. It's probably 7 minutes now, 8 minutes, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Please rate, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, write these in the comments box, and I'll get back to you. We'll see you in a bit with another beer review. Bye-bye. Cheers.